So my name's Jimmy Raynor. I'm a lifelong Virginia Beach resident, Virginia Tech grad, rabid fan. I work for a company and own a company called AGI, large manufacturer, signage and corporate branding, and just outdoorsy, active guy. So big into the family and sports. So I've always been into outdoor sports, singular, never really a team sport guy. So surfing young, racing bicycles from 8 years to 20 some years old, and then golf later in life, albeit not the best golfer, that's my wife. And then put all that kind of on hold as, I had family later in life, still did a little surfing and just kind of stopped that until kids got through their sports, life got where I could do my own thing, and I had let my health go and went on a big weight loss kick, if you would, or diet, dropped a lot of weight and started developing some problems I'd never had before. Apparently the weight was helping things, and joints started hurting. And so for several years I endured just pain in my hips that I'd never had. I always had knee pain in college playing volleyball and things, and never saw the right doctors or any doctors, college people. And when the pain came, it was 3 years of every medicine I could come up with just to get around, to walk. And it kind of from 2013 to 16 and 15, I believe, actually, so almost 3 years. And Monday, I get a call from Dr. Dowd's office. I'd met his wife that day on the soccer field, had seen him, didn't really know him. Our kids played together, and they're like, "We need to get you in. Here, you got a hip problem." I'm like, "I got something wrong and don't know what it is, so when can you come in?" I was like, "What do you have available? House 4 o'clock, what day?" "Today." 24 hours later, I'm in the office, x-rays. Ironically, I tell him, "Hey, it's my left hip, really bothering me." Shows me x-rays, goes, "Yes, you have a displacement, but your right hip's the bad one." We kind of argued, Dr. Dowd and I was like, "That doesn't make sense." I go, "That's not what hurts," and explained to me, how one hip I'm compensating, got into all the technical things. He goes, "Need a hip replacement." When he said I had to have my hip replaced, a little bit in disbelief. I'd had minor surgery, 1 or 2 small things in the past, but I'm going, hold on, that's cutting into my body. I'm not a big believer in that. I don't like medicines, but it was kind of I'd been on so many medicines, I would do anything, get off, and he explained it pretty big detail of what they do. It was a pretty quick procedure. One of the easier joint surgeries, which that again, I was thinking, wow, your hip, you would think that's a tough surgery. Explain knees are worse. And so I was like, well, if that's what you say, because in the 24 hours from the time I scheduled the appointment, I'd actually talked to a friend who actually worked in, I guess, the joint business, distributing the joints or something to that effect. And he had said, there's only 2 doctors in town. And when I said, well, I'm going to see this guy, Dr. Dowd, he goes, that's the #1 doctor. And so, we agreed that we would do the right hip. I was a little bit disbelieving. And from there, it's rolled into more, back into racing bicycles in my 50s, and things probably 50-year-olds shouldn't do, but thankfully all the Dr. Dowd and everybody at Jordan Young, just all of them supporting it. Dr. Dowd, I would say, is probably one of the best docs I've ever met. The bedside manner, fantastic. Anybody knows me knows I like to talk a lot. He was very accommodating. I ask a lot of questions. He answered them, his whole team, the assistants, which I wish I knew all of them by name. I don't, but just everybody was just, is there anything you'd like to know? Is there anything you need? From that initial consultation to doing the procedure, I believe it was about 4 or 5 weeks later. Just incredible. And even the follow-up care, calling on me, checking on me. I had in-house therapy. I had kind of a rough procedure, but it had nothing to do with, the surgery. It was more my own health. I was in the hospital longer than normal, but even, Dr. Dowd was checking on me daily at the hospital, which I know that wasn't the usual. Usually it's, as I've been told, in today, should be out by tomorrow. But again, it was, they kind of adapted to my situation and were very accommodating. Even once I got into my home health care, I did my therapy for the 6 weeks right up to the day I left on my trip. But they were just so accommodating in making sure everything was perfect. So when I'm out and about, somebody says, "Hey, I've got such and such pain, a joint pain, a hip, a shoulder, whatever it may be," I think I immediately go that I'm on the marketing team for Jordan Young, all kidding aside, because I think the world of them. And I know there's other good doctors around our town, but the whole experience, where they're located, their facilities, the relationship with the hospital, to me, it's just, this is where you go. And I think I've sent 10 to 15 people who have been here just because of our conversations. I've never had anybody come back and say, "Man, that wasn't good," or "I wouldn't do it again." It's just top of mind always. At the end of the day, you just want to be here for whatever it is. I'm going through some stuff with shoulders now, and it's the same experience. I don't want to have to get surgery, and that may be an option for me, but it's one of those things where I'm going, different doctor, not Dr. Dowd, but it's the same experience. It's nice to know that they all believe and see the same things there. It's not just, hey, stamp them out one way, which I've heard from some other doctors in town. That's the way they do things. It just is, I think it's what they believe and just how they treat their patients, turnkey.